I'm Brian Van, sportbiketrackgear.com, and today we're going to do a Hotbodies MGP full system install on a 2017 Honda Grom. Okay, the Grom is a cool little mid-size bike, no question. Here is the stock exhaust that comes on it. That's about 10.5 pounds. The Hotbodies MGP system that we installed weighs about 3.5. So there's a 7-pound weight savings found here. And noise. This is going to sound a whole lot cooler than that ever did. All in all, the quality of the system is good. It's made in Italy. Stainless steel tubing. You got 2 bolts up here at the cylinder head. A main mounting bolt here for the head pipe. There's a mid pipe with a supplied barrel clamp. The canister is available in 3 variants. This is the upper end that we're showing you. This is the carbon fiber sleeve with their new stainless steel tip. The one in the middle has a carbon fiber sleeve with a stainless steel tip that protrudes out a little bit with a rolled edge. And then they have the stainless tip with a stainless sleeve. Pricing on this, you're going to be just under $400 if you go with this canister option, which is the high-end one. If you go stainless on stainless, you'll be just over $300, so that's really affordable. The install is pretty straightforward. Basic hand tools. The only place I feel like you got to be patient and watch out is back here at the canister strap. I had to offset the strap a little bit so it didn't pull it too close to the swing arm. Watch the video, watch how I did that. It really wasn't that complicated at the end of the day. I feel like the end result is good. Bike sounds cool. If you want more information, watch the install. First, we need to remove the stock system. You only need a couple of hand tools for this, very basic stuff. I'm going to begin by loosening up the flange nuts up here at the header. Once I've done that, I'll then begin to loosen up all the mounting bolts and remove the exhaust from the bike. Okay, before you take any of the mounting bolts out in the back, you want to make sure that you've gotten both of the flange nuts off up here at the head. So we're going to do that first. Get that flange dipped down like so. Okay, now we'll come back here and we'll start with the rearward most mounting bolt. You can see Evan's already got a set of driven rear sets, TT rear sets installed on his Grom. Save all your hardware. There are 2 mounting bolts in the center of the system, one on each side of the bike. Just going to use a T-handle here. Those are both 12 mil hex head fasteners. We're going to reuse the bolt on this side with the MGP system. Come over to the other side. This is just behind the kickstand, right there. Okay, and that is all of our mounting bolts. This thing's actually kind of heavy. We'll get a weight on this for you. Give you an idea of what this looks like. Clearly, the MGP system is a lot smaller. And we'll get a weight on this for you so you can get an idea of weight savings. Okay, we just went over and weighed both systems. The Hotbodies MGP exhaust, 3.65 pounds. That's pretty light, man. The stock exhaust was 10.55. We're going to round a little bit. We're going to call that a 7-pound weight savings. That's probably 20% of the weight of this motorcycle. Imagine how fast this thing is going to be, weight savings alone. Okay, now next up, I want to get up in there and I want to inspect that gasket because it stayed in there, did not come out, and I can see that it's still in there. It's still intact. It looks good. So we're just going to install the pipe without replacing the gasket, and that is what I would normally do. It's not very often that I would put a new gasket in, especially not on a bike that is this new. So slide this up in position. And I'm just gonna start these, okay? Just get them started, finger tight, to hold the pipe in place. No torque at all yet. I'll be reusing the stock hardware in the back to mount this. I'm going to put just the tiniest little bit of Loctite on this. That's red. You could use blue back here too. And that bolt pass through the frame. Just get that started. I'm going to grab the T-handle. I'm not going to tighten it up. I'm going to run it down just a little bit. Okay, I still want to be able to move that around. Back that off right there. Now, I'm going to push the head pipe up into position. And we'll begin to torque these flange nuts. There's no need to put a tremendous amount of torque on this. You want to try and get it just right to the moment where it starts to deform the flange just a little bit, okay? You don't want to really bend the ears a lot, just the tiniest little bit. Okay, we're going to stop there and I'll come back with a wrench to finish it off. There's a little mid pipe, a barrel clamp, and we have a canister strap right here. So we're going to mount up the mid pipe and the canister nut. Okay, I'm going to finish off the final torque here using just a wrench for the flange nuts. That way I can get this nice and even. A little better feel with the wrench. And you want to look too and make sure your spacing for each stud is even. Okay, once I've got that done, come back here and I'll snug that rear mount all the way, and I'll be ready to mount our canister and our mid pipe. I've already put these together. Canister slides over the mid pipe. There's a stop welded on, and then I stretched the spring on using a spring tool from a previous exhaust install. If you don't have that, you can use a pair of side cutters to do that by holding on to the end of the spring. You don't want to put so much pressure that you cut through the spring just enough that you're able to hold it, and that allows you to tug on it, stretch it over. I will tell you right now, that is a snug fit. You're going to have to put some pressure on that to get it to stretch over, okay? It's pretty tight once it's on there. Now we're ready to install. You'll see the way the head pipe is designed, it's been stretched at the end to meet this. I've got the barrel clamp snug just enough so it won't twist. Got that slid over. You don't want to let it slide on so far that it slides over the hump where they sized it up. You want to put it right up to just about the end like so. I'm not going to tighten the clamp all the way right now. I'm going to just snug it so it'll hold this in position for me while we work on the mounting bracket here at the back. So I still want to be able to twist it. Okay, now, stock hardware. Here is the supplied canister bracket. I'm going to show you this right from Jump Street here. You can see that Be really close to the swing arm here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bolt through this. Real tight fit here too. Just kind of get it started through the first hole. Slide it over. And then we'll get it through the second. Once we do that, we can then get it to go through the bracket on the rear set. Be patient with this part. This is going to require just a little bit of manipulation to get it to fit the way that we all want it to. Okay, now I've got it to pass through the back side of the bracket. I'm going to grab just a little bit of Loctite. I'm going to reuse the washer that we had previously. I'm sorry, the nut. I'm going to put just a bit of red on the inside of that. Wipe away the excess, get that started. Grab a backup wrench. T-handle. I'm going to take my time running this down. What I don't want to do is I don't want to just compress and squeeze the canister hard and fast. Okay, so nice and easy. Finish off with the wrench. And you can go ahead and apply final torque here. Okay, now you're going to see this is really close to the swing arm. Too close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a hold of the canister. Remember, the pipe is loose here. And I'm going to rotate. Be careful. Okay, you don't want to reef on it so hard that you crack the canister. I rotated it just a bit, okay? Just enough to put a little bend in it. So we have good clearance back here for that swing arm to travel up and down. I'm going to hold the can, grab my ratchet, and now I will tighten this barrel clamp the rest of the way, enough so that the pipe will not rotate. You can put, this barrel clamp is really powerful, okay? You want to be careful that you don't reef on this so much that you just distort and destroy the pipe in that area, okay? So get that torqued down. Make sure everything is in position. Double check your spacing back here. We've got enough length with this bolt that if you feel like you're a little closer to the swing arm than you'd like to be, you could loosen this up, slide the bolt out, put a little spacer in between the bracket and the rear set mount to gain some more room here. If you want to come to the back, Steve, you can show that right now. I just want to make sure you've got plenty of space for the swing arm to pivot up and down. Okay, really important step here before I start the bike. I want to clean the exhaust off. WD-40, I'm using something that's a lot like WD-40 from Maxima. It's their MPPL. This is a great way on like titanium or stainless steel exhaust to clean all the handprints off the exhaust before you start it. If you leave those greasy handprints on there and start it, what's going to happen is you're going to burn those right into the pipe, and you don't want to look at that when you're all done. So take your time, wipe it up nice, get a dry rag, clean dry rag once you've done this, and wipe it off entirely. Okay, system's all installed, looks good. Absolutely looks good. Right, had to re-engineer a little bit back here, kind of tweak that, but all in all, a good end result. We've warmed the motor just a bit. Now let's see what it sounds like. There it is at idle. up in the rev range. So, to sum up, we've lost 7 pounds of weight. We made the bike look a whole bunch cooler, and it sounds a lot better as well. The Hotbodies MGP exhaust is available with 3 different cans for this bike. This is the carbon with the stainless steel tip option. This is the most expensive. Retails $429. After the discount, you're going to be just under $400. They have another canister with a carbon fiber sleeve, and it has a rolled tip, extends out a little bit longer. That one lives in the middle. And then there's a stainless with a stainless end cap that's going to be just over $300 for the full system, which makes it really affordable. All in all, the install was pretty straightforward. You had to get just a little patient back here, but the end result was really good. I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackGear.com.